Speech is civilization itself. The word, even the most contradictory word, preserves contact. That is silence which isolates. The ability to speak is one of the most fundamental skills a person learns in their life. It is seen as a prominent feature that separates mankind from other species. Learning a foreign language often begins with the translation of words. But for a native language, there is no translation. Have you ever stopped to wonder, how do we learn our native language from nothing? From the earliest babblings of infancy to the sophisticated conversations of adulthood, the journey of language acquisition is remarkable. Speaking is a complex process that involves multiple regions in the brain. The most important regions for speech are Broca's and Wernicke's area in the cortex. They were named after their respective discoverers. The Wernicke area is thought to be involved in language comprehension. People with lesions in this area sometimes are able to speak fluently, but without any meaning, and have trouble with comprehension.
What are you doing today?
We stayed with the water over here at the moment and talked with the people over them over there. They're diving for them at the moment. They'll save in the moment. He'll have water very soon for him.
Broca's area is responsible for speech production. With lesions in this part of the brain, people generally have no problems with comprehension, but impaired ability to produce language, be it spoken or written. Trying to speak seems very effortful.
And what did you used to do?
Worked Autodesk, seven sales, and worldwide.
The regions linked to speech mostly develop in the dominant hemisphere of the brain. You see, while a brain has two symmetrical hemispheres, each controlling the opposite half of the body, one evolves to be the dominant one. For most people, this is the left hemisphere, controlling the right hand. The areas of speech processing mostly develop in the second year of life, mirroring the onset of speech in babies. So, how do we learn our native language from nothing? First, in order to understand the meaning of words and sentences, we have to recognize the structure of them. Being confronted with the constant flow of speech, we need to dissect the individual parts. We have to know where a word starts and where it ends in order to understand it. Sembeth et al. Found that newborns are already sensitive to prosodic information in language. Prosody is the intonation, stress, and rhythm in a language. The researchers had babies listen to natural speech, singing, and distorted speech, and measured brain activation. The highest reaction was measured with natural speech. Around the age of 7 to 9 months, this sensitivity for rhythm is extended to individual words. Infants start to analyze the statistical properties of speech. According to this study, they start to recognize which sounds form a unit and usually occur together, and which typically do not occur together. They learn which word typically follows the next and recognize patterns in speech. Which is interesting, because you might have heard that before. In a way, it is similar to how artificial intelligence systems work. In a nutshell, after being fed huge amounts of data, the AI learns which words usually occur together and then predicts the most likely word after each one. The next step is pretty obvious. We learn specific words. Parents point at things and say the name. That way we start to form a very small vocabulary, which then can be expanded, combined with the aforementioned technique of the statistical analysis of language. It's like a puzzle where we start with single pieces, or words in that case, and then begin to acquire more pieces from these starting points until the whole picture comes together, and then expand from there. After a few months, the vocabulary grows rapidly. The actual numbers vary from study to study, but usually the vocabulary expands from a few dozen words at around 18 months to a few thousand words at 5 years old. This study models the development afterwards, with reaching about 6,000 unique words at age 6 to around 70,000 words at age 22. But as you can see, the individual differences amplify with older age, resulting in larger standard deviations in the number of words between people. Influencing factors can be the social environment, intelligence, and habits like reading. Furthermore, the amount of known words hugely differs across studies, depending on what definition of an individual word is chosen. In general, the vocabulary grows rapidly in our childhood and teenage years, and most studies find slight increases still in our adulthood. The process of language acquisition is fascinating and still not fully understood. Learning how to speak can be considered the most important ability that one acquires in his life, enabling us to communicate, learn, and think. The language we speak might also influence the way we think, but this is a topic for another video. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe.